Hey guys, a very warm welcome from myself, Neil Pryor, and I hope you've had a good trading week. We're talking now on Sunday the 26th of August 2018, and I want to have a quick run through what happened this week, weekend in 24th of August, still going through that summer period. Before we do that, just a quick reminder where I am. I'm at FXCorrelator.com, which is named after the indicator I kind of created back in the early 2000s, a strength meter. And if you go here and come across the top here of the site, you can see various areas, including here some mindset games and various other things. I like to talk about methodology, how to trade the system, mind games, and can you win? Is it possible to make money trading? And the answer is yes, it is. But it's certainly not easy, and I think most of you have been around the block a bit realize that a lot of people try and many people fail, but that's not to say it's not impossible, and that's not to say you can make a living trading, and I know many people that do. So never give up. Myself personally, as most of you know, I was born into a family of bookmakers, so really I've always grown up around gambling, trading, speculating, whatever you want to call it. So it's as normal to me as anything really, in that respect. My FX correlator is here. If you go to this page, you'll be able to download my free indicator and a few other things as well. Also get access to some of my forums and blogs, and this actually is my blog area here. This is where I've formalized a blog, and I'm pretty much posting there every day when I'm trading. I'm trading most days. I don't trade, I'm not trading as much as I'd like to. I'd like to get a lot more hours in, but I'm trying to, 2-3 hours a day generally I can get in at the moment. And if you go here, I'll normally be telling you what's going on. The way it normally works is I'll have a Forex diary. So this was Friday, and there's one every day, and I try and update as I go. I'm not real time, I'm not live trading, guys. I don't run a trading room. I haven't got around to that. Perhaps I will one day, but I certainly try and give people an update of what's going on. So here you can see I really didn't get into it until about 10:15 when I gave an update. I'd already probably been trading for 2 or 3 hours by then, and then I just try and make comments as I go. And there's Thursday and so on. And again, I'm going to talk about what happened in the week, but this will give you an update of where I was and what I was doing. So I mean, please join the blog, register with me. The way you register is basically here. Go to my home page where the CV is, and if you pull it down a little bit and get rid of that ugly picture of me with my FX correlator symbol there, the guy, Mr. Corey, there you go. Please subscribe. Also, complying with all European regulations on marketing and advertising. If you want to unsubscribe, it's down here. There's no pressure. I'm actually not selling anything at the moment, guys, so please, there's no pressure. I'm always happy to help, always happy to answer people's questions, either online at Trade to Win or Forex Factory. Just drop me a line or contact me here. I'm at FXCorrelator@gmail.com. Even at chat there on Skype. Just please, just pop in and have a chat. I won't bite. Been doing a little bit of mentoring actually recently, not so much specifically on my particular trading system, but just mentoring a few less experienced traders. So I'm happy to help, always happy for a chat, and it breaks the monotony of trading for me, that's for sure. Before we go on to this, this is my FX correlator set on a 20 moving average for the week, starting on the 20th here. I just wanted to actually talk a little bit about information that moves currency, and that's obviously to do with news and events. And I just wanted to remind everybody, I'm sure you know, there was I personally use a great site called Forex Factory, and it's a really good little site, Forex Factory. I think most people know how to go there. But if you go to the calendar area there, they will give you a constant update as to what's going on during that day and that week. To be honest with you, what I do when I go into this is, if you come up here, see click on this little filter. I'm not too interested. You can have virtually every news event that is currently being broadcast or about to happen. I get rid of the two less important ones. I've got moderately impactful on currency news and very impactful. The red is really where the action is, and obviously I monitor everything here. I'm on my 8 or more currencies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a couple of extras in there which I'm not too fussed about, but I'm really on my G8. All this stuff I'm interested in, and once I've kind of done that, you can run literally through the week. So this was this week, and as you can see there, it's actually that's next week. So we're actually waiting on next week. So it hasn't got last week, but you literally will run through. So for example, on Monday, there's some moderately interesting information that will affect the euro, so that'd be quite early doors, and that's the German business climate. And across here on the right, it gives you news and updates. So it's really going to take you through. And if we quickly look through and see what's important, Wednesday there's going to be some important GDP information on the US dollar. That'd be roughly around opening, New York opening, and so on. Goes all the way through the week and all the way through. So I use this quite a bit. I'm very aware of this, make sure that it's telling me what I need to be doing or not doing. I mean, personally, if you want my personal opinion, I can trade either with this information or not. I'm quite happy to have a day where there's not much news going around and I can actually just trade the natural flow of the markets, the natural flow of buying and selling. And I'm just as happy as that as if there's quite a lot of news events going on the day. With a lot of news events and a lot of things happening, it's going to make the currency generally more volatile, and things are just going to move faster. So I just adjust my dynamics and the way I trade accordingly. So I just wanted to flag that up. Yep. So that's Forex Factory. Go to their calendar thing and just keep this as part of your, part of your schedule. If you are trading, especially intraday, obviously this is all intraday. Whilst it will affect obviously what's going on for the week or the month, intraday trading, this is where it's much more important, because you've got to watch these times and be aware that things are going to get very volatile and action packed literally just before and just after that. Okay. So without further ado, I just want to have a quick talk about the week. So this is my FXCorrelator. This is on a 20 moving average setting, and it's based on an hourly. Okay, I'll put an hourly on so you can see the whole week. The dividers here are each day of the week through Monday through to Friday. And what this basically does is, based on a 20 moving average, what it is telling you, what currencies are getting stronger above this dotted zero line, what are getting weaker. And that is a great indication, the same as any strength meter, not just mine, of where to be moving your money and what to be looking for. So for example, most people, 70-80% of all major currency crosses involve the US dollar as one of the currencies involved. So it's a really, really huge influencer on global currencies. And as you can see through this week, I just wanted to highlight and flag where I would have tried to be trading. Now, I trade intraday, guys. As you know, I'm a scalper, predominantly London session, and I will also trade New York if I haven't made enough in the morning session, or if I'm bored recently or I'm not tied up, I'll get stuck into early New York as well. But generally London session I trade, coming off the back of the Asian, and but this is higher level. So this is giving you a steer. 20 moving average, well, I'll just use it as a default. Guys, you can use whatever you want. The faster the move, or the lower the moving average, if you're using a 5 moving average, that is going to make things pretty choppy. You come up the scale, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. It's a nice steady, 20 is a nice steady moving average. It's not too fast, not too slow. And then you can take it all the way up, 50, 200, just the same as you would on a normal pair chart. Quite happy to do all of these, and one day I will teach this, how I use different moving averages and different time frames. But here's the week, here's the hourly on a 20, and it just gives you a flow. So for example, if we were been trading the US dollar this week, let's say we were looking to try and trade the Europeans against the US dollar this week, what this does is gives you a very, very nice high level indication of what you should have been doing that day. So for example, here you can see that clearly Monday was a very, very big sell on the US dollar, and this indicates 10 o'clock. That's about 8 AM BST. I think this is 2 ahead of British summertime. So 10 o'clock, around 8 o'clock BST, that's about roughly, probably a little bit late for me. I tend to be trading earlier than that, but it gives you an indication then for the next 2 or 3 hours of what the London market's going to be doing from 8 AM. And you can see it was very weak there on the dollar. Dollar was very weak Monday. And each of these is literally 8 AM BST the next day. So here's Tuesday. You can see that Tuesday the dollar actually was starting to come back. It was starting to converge back towards this. Doesn't necessarily mean that the dollar was massively strong. Just means it was coming back from being weakish. Again, that is the idea of the skew of a moving average. Remember, a moving average will always skew price. It's not absolute price. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because what I'm going to do is show you what was actually going on real time with the currencies in terms of fixed price. Yeah, fixed from the start of the week. This is another derivative I use. What this is doing is saying take the start of the week and then literally use what the currencies do all through the week. Don't put a moving average on it. This is actually putting a moving average on things, so it's putting an MA on these actual prices, but it just shows you there. So for example, whilst the moving average here is converging back towards a zero, all it actually means, as you can see here, is that the dollar has flattened. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's rising, but it does mean that it's slowing down in terms of its divergence, and this is what this is showing you. So this does not mean buy, it just literally means nothing is happening in terms of sell. And then you can see here the moving average starts to diverge again, and sure enough you can see how US dollar turned out again. So I'm just explaining to you there what a moving average FX correlator does. Okay, this is the free version I offer. Fortunately, I don't offer this for free, guys. I developed this one with a few guys, and we tend to have a pricing contract agreement on that. I will offer it as part of my training and mentoring I'm going to hopefully do later this year, but it's not available free, either my website or my forums. But you can see here that obviously there was some flux here. You see it starts to get a bit more choppy, and then we can see on Thursday that the US dollar does actually get positive in terms of a buy. Okay, it comes back and then it goes there. So this was a great period. You know, we talk about Thursday being a great time to buy the US dollar. Look at that, and I'll confirm that up here in a minute. And then it starts to fade again, and then actually we came into Friday, and Friday was a great selling period. You can see it starting to fade here, and then it came into London session, and it was a great sell-off. So that is the power of strength meters, and indeed my FX correlator. Using a moving average, you can move this as fast as slow as you want. You can you can adjust this however you want. Just bringing things in. You can change your colors. You can show or hide certain currencies. You can change this. You can make them bolder and whatever. You can add levels and so on. So free, available, please use it. And I've been using that probably now pushing 15 years. Never lets me down. I've got hundreds of derivatives of it based on allowing me to customize my trading, but this is still the best and the first, guys. It is straight, it is honest, it is decent. It will never lie to you because it does what it says on the tin. Just like good old-fashioned moving averages, it's just as powerful because it is leveraging moving averages. Okay, so as said, I'm just gonna move away from that and just go to the actual prices through the week. So this is the fixed prices for those currencies you can see up here. I just wanted to talk very quickly about what happened in the week. So just in summary, what happened during this week, and again remember these are roughly the 8 AM BST line. So this is when London was in full swing, and the next 2 or 3 hours here are always tradable London. What happened this week? Well, the first thing I just want to comment on is that actually Euro had a great week. Approximately in terms of pips, very approximately, the Euro put on something like 140, 150 pips this week on its own. So if you were buying, and literally from Monday you can see here, if you were buying all the way through the week steadily, you can see how well it did. You really would have done very well, literally buying from each London 8 AM. You see here up, you see here up. If you were buying that against a bearish currency, a currency that was falling, you had a great week. You literally just walked into the London market and bought Euro, and just hang on in there. Just hang on in there. Wednesday was probably the flattest. You could see it didn't actually make that much, but again in terms of London session, it did very well. In fact, it faded rest of the day. Other currencies that did well. Well, sterling, as you can see, had a great week. It faded at the end. You see it came off from about a high on Thursday. That's towards the end of the London session, and it faded off here. But really, sterling had a good week as well. No complaints there. Swissy completed the European trio here. So really it was a great week for Europeans in terms of buying. And you will see that I would have reflected that in my blog every day. Generally trying to buy both of these guys whenever I got opportunities. And then down here, what do we see? Well, what we see is great. I mean, the first 1, 2, 3 days really, we see a lovely bearish US dollar. US dollar by Wednesday had come out nearly 100 pips, so 100 pips down. And what I'm looking for, and what we're all looking for as traders when we trade Forex, is we're really looking for a good trending and volatile US dollar. If the US dollar is moving, if the US dollar is active, we're going to make money. And if you don't make money, then you've either made fundamental mistakes or you just weren't trading the market. Because when the US dollar is flat or it's not doing much and it's choppy, that's when you're going to lose money. So you're really praying for at least one day a week a good trending and volatile US dollar, and it provided it this week. I mean, $100 pips out by Wednesday, that's pretty good going. I'm more than happy with that. I will have, happily made quite a lot of pips by then. And this week was no exception. So coming down here, I was selling off dollar through the first 3 days and just looking to pick up some of these guys. I wouldn't have deviated away from probably sterling or euro. Quite happy with that. Another one I always look for is the yen, and again the yellow yen here came out, and the yellow yen, can, when things are going well, I like the correlation for the yen and USD to be together, and they were. As long as they're both selling or both buying, then I'm happy to be really strongly trading. I've got strong cases then for trading good correlation. Wednesday, US dollar came back, big pullback into US session there, signified another buy-in phase on Thursday, and then Friday it faded again. Yen was the biggest sell of the week, guys. So if you'd taken positions quite early on, say on Monday, although that really didn't give a clue at that moment because yen hadn't really picked up. Yen only started really selling on Tuesday through Asian. This is the Asian session coming through, and then really if you pretty much stuck to selling yen through the rest of the week and buying the Europeans, you would have done well. And obviously if you bought right from the start, not that anyone can take really a guess from the start, you need to see early time zone moves. 160, 170 pips here. You're potentially looking at least a couple of 100 pips here if you're taking positions from Monday. But again, as I said, trading is about, you've got to trade what you see, and you've got to wait for those signals to come. And would these have showed up? So let's say that we were looking to buy the euro through the week. So how did it work here on the FXCorrelator? Well, here you have it. If you were doing a very simple approach and saying, when I'll do whatever I see on the euro, here you can see the euro very strong on Monday as a buy. In fact, by this stage it's above everything else by far. Then it falls back. You can see here another strong signal here to get into euro, another strong signal here to get into euro. Every time you come off the fade here and start to diverge again, it's worth it. Another strong position here on the euro, and last but not least, look at that. As I said, every morning, literally from the this is 10 o'clock on my chart, my tick meal chart, but that's 8 a.m. BST. Every day, like clockwork, you literally just started buying euro. That is even that, it was quite a short burst, but it was good enough. Not so much here, not so much Monday. It took a little time, but quite eerie really. That was very nice this week. Okay, this is NVP, Neil Price signing off. I hope you have a great trading week next week. You know where to contact me, and all I can do is wish you good trading. All the best, guys. Cheers. Bye.